Hi guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the TRA Education and Performance Podcast with me, your tiny titan host, Vicky Masita. So in our very first episode, I've got a very exciting guest all the way from the USA by the name of Meghan Callaway. How are you, Meghan?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, Meghan, for people who don't know who you are, then please just give us a little bit of a background of who you are, where you come from, and what your whole standpoint in the industry is today.
Okay. Well, I've been a strength coach for over 15 years. I'm located in Vancouver, Canada. So for people who think we live up in the cold north, I guess it kind of is to some extent. I work with many different types of people, general population, elite athletes, mainly people who want to feel better, perform at a higher level, feel empowered, people who kind of want to understand the process and learn what we are doing. I want to help people find the joy in working out. I want it to be really empowering. I kind of try to dispel many of the myths that exist out there. People who try to make themselves as tired as possible, as sore as possible, kind of defeats the purpose of training consistently. Enjoying what you're doing. So, that wasn't a very good explanation, but I just really want to help people find the joy in working out and make it a permanent part of their lifestyle.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. And you've got a book out at the moment as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a program, but it pretty much became a book. It's called the Ultimate Pull-Up Program. It is long. It's 166 pages long. It's an ebook, but every exercise is it's a 4-phase pull-up program. Helps people wherever they are in their journey, whether or not they can already do them and want to improve their form and do more, whether or not they cannot do any and want to do their first. So it's 4 phases long. Each phase is broken into about 4 to 8 weeks. Every single exercise comes with a video, a really detailed written description. And when I first started writing it, I did not know what was going to happen, but it did turn into this really big book, and it has done quite well. So I'm really thrilled about that.
Amazing. So what is so important about the pull-up for empowering a woman, for example, especially with strength as well, right?
Yeah. My program, I don't know the actual numbers now, I lost track, but it's probably about 60% female, 40% male in terms of the buyers. So, it's an exercise that's gender neutral. It's amazing for everybody. But I just find women we're constantly being told what we cannot do. We have had so many limitations placed on us. And the pull-up, I just find it such an empowering exercise. When people are able to do their first, or even if they can't do their first and they're just making progress, it is such a good feeling. It's such a positive feeling. With this particular exercise, I also find there's so many different possibilities for different variations. In my program, I do have a 5th kind of a bonus phase where I include some of my cooler kind of play exercises. But
Cool.
Even just speaking from my own experience, I'll be out walking or driving and I'll see a branch or a fence or a bar, and I'll constantly want to try some sort of pull up. So it just produces feelings of empowerment, play, freedom. And I find, maybe I'm biased, but I find this exercise in particular produces these feelings more than many. And so that's why I'm really passionate about helping people learn how to do them.
Excellent. No, completely in agreement as well. And I think it really makes you kind of think about how being so powerful as well for the pull-up, because a lot of women, well, most women anyway, most women obviously struggle with upper body strength.
Yeah.
So trying to pull their entire body weight above them, a lot of men struggle to do that. So
yeah.
To get a woman to do it and to do it confidently, and like you said, just having a bit of a play around with it, I think that is really, really empowering. It's great. And it's great for mental health as well, right?
Oh, huge. And I even think with a lot of it boils down to self-belief. People can, men, women, we all can do pull-ups. At least most people can. So much of it boils down to self-belief, but also not training for the exercise properly or consistently. Because, I've written about this a lot, and I talk about it in my program. The pull-up, while people think of it as an upper body exercise, it's actually a full body exercise. Your whole body must be working as one in order to do the exercise correctly. And so much of it does boil down to technique. So working on that technique, improving strength, I talk about it in the program, but lumbopelvic stability, being able to control the movement of the shoulder and shoulder blades. So I use the term controlled mobility. All of those are prerequisites to being able to do the pull-up. And of course, grip strength as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through a little bit about the mental anxiety of women trying to get into the gym as well, first of all, because I'm really interested about how you would empower women to come back to the gym. I'm a coach myself, and I have a lot of women, especially online, who come to me and say, Vic, I really just don't have the confidence, and I get a lot of anxiety trying to go to the gym, first of all, you know, on my own. When they come and train with me, they're fine and they enjoy it and they love it. They feel powerful and strong. But when I say to them, go to the gym on your own and do this particular program that we've done together already, that's it. They just shy away. So how would you get some women empowered to go on their own to the gym?
I mean, a huge thing is doing something you enjoy. So if you enjoy your workouts, you're obviously going to be you're going to be more likely to go and actually do it. Another thing is having a plan of attack. So you kind of want to know what you're doing before you go to the gym. That gives you the confidence to actually do it rather than kind of going and improvising and having no clue what you're doing. And that can lead to lack of confidence. It can lead to a lack of enjoyment. So like I said, enjoy what you're doing and have a plan of attack.
Definitely. Absolutely love that. Would you also recommend going with a partner? So maybe a friend, another woman friend who can come with you and you can feel strong together?
I mean, yeah, it could be a male, female, anybody. It doesn't just have to be another female. And you don't even necessarily have to be doing the same workout. It can be just somebody who is there for support rather than even doing the same workout.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely agree with that one. All right, so let's get into a little bit about your past history. Did you have anything that made you really want to start getting strong in the gym? Because obviously you're a strength and conditioning coach as well.
Yes.
What was that trigger for you?
Well, I've had a couple different turning points, so to speak. I've played sports my entire life. I mean, I've played soccer for 27 years. I also grew up playing competitive ice hockey and baseball on boys' teams, just because back in the day, I kind of date myself. But when I was growing up, they didn't really have girls' teams for hockey and baseball.
Right.
I always worked out, but I mean, my workouts weren't very empowering or very effective. And throughout much of my 20s, like late teens, 20s, I kind of did the bullshit that I'm so against now, working out purely to control my appearance. I was fixated on a number on a scale. I just did the mindless, endless cardio to burn a certain number of calories. I was worried about lifting weights because I didn't want to get bulky. I hate that term, but that was what I thought. So when I was 28, I was in a pretty bad car accident. I was going to pick up a friend who ended up blowing her knee out at the hospital. Playing basketball, and I went to go pick her up at the hospital. And I went out into a snowstorm. I ended up hitting black ice, wrote my car off. I ended up walking away without any scratches or apparent injuries. But after that, it led to 5 years of these crazy full body symptoms. Like, it was just crazy. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with me. I had to stop playing soccer. I could not train. I mean, I wasn't training well before, but I could not train properly at all. And it just made me change my entire mindset, where I just wanted to, I mean, I didn't even think I'd be able to work out again or play sports again. I just wanted to get through the day without dealing with these endless, unpredictable symptoms. And so it gave me an appreciation for my health. It kind of made me realize what a precious gift I had been wasting. So once 5 years later and over $20,000 later as well, because I was just going from person to person trying to find somebody who could tell me what was causing all of my problems. Once I found out what was going on, I just wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel empowered. I wanted my workouts to kind of feel like play. So you'll see, even online, I do a lot of the traditional strength training, but I also do a lot of the kind of fun body weight, calisthenic stuff. Pull-ups to me are play as well. So I just wanted to, like I said, feel good. I wanted to feel like I was playing. I started focusing on performance-oriented goals versus aesthetic goals.
Okay.
And my mindset changed. Everything just improved for the better. And I also kind of carry that over to my own work in terms of when I was with clients, both in person and online.
Wow, that's incredible. So you have had a big turning point from there, haven't you? And wanting to kind of change everything, get stronger from the God, almost from the inside out, but the outside in as well.
Oh yeah, they go hand in hand for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, that's really excellent, actually. So, let's have a chat quickly about some women that you start off with who come to you and they're in desperate need, overweight, never trained before, and they're in that dark place that, you know, we all know we've been to at some point because we've all got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you deal with a lot of
So
women
like,
who go on?
oh no, I was gonna say you were gonna ask what I was gonna like, how I would train them, how I would approach it. I totally interrupted you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
good. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I mean, obviously, of course, it depends on the individual. It depends on the background. Like certain people, I mean, they might have a sports background, they might have worked out and they just stop. So, I mean, obviously, it's kind of easier working with somebody like that than somebody who has no experience whatsoever. So, even I like to focus on wherever the person is coming from, their background, their starting point. I like to focus on what they can do versus any limitations they might have. Because if you're constantly fixating on what somebody cannot do, that's going to destroy their confidence. It's going to destroy any enjoyment they might have. So I like to find things that people enjoy doing. I like to teach. I like people to understand the process and kind of empower as they learn, as they are improving. And yeah, so just about enjoyment, empowerment, focusing on cans versus what they cannot do.
Fantastic.
And then also
I love that.
with everybody as well. I mean, of course, everybody, they have different goals, but focusing on the fundamental movement patterns, teaching people how to squat, hip hinge, lunge, all that sort of stuff, like pressing, pulling. And I mean, with every single person, no matter where they are, like fitness level, limitations, there are always different variations that can be done that will meet the person where they're at. So we're not just forcing a person to perform a certain exercise, we're fitting the exercise to the person.
Yep, brilliant.
And having fun. I mean, honestly, like having fun. I like to make the sessions fun. Obviously, it's different with each individual, with each personality, but I like people to laugh. I like them to enjoy themselves, and I just want them to feel empowered and good.
Good. I really love that. And I'm of exactly the same mindset. A lot of my clients, they talk to me like I'm their friend, but obviously I still make them work hard. And in essence, I suppose we do create this bond with our clients that's much different to any kind of different friendship as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, you are that different person. You're their friend, their psychologist, their coach, their nutritionist, their advocate. You're absolutely everything to them and not just that 1 hour that you see them in a week. You know, you're there for them throughout their entire journey, educating them throughout it. Have you had to educate people from the brink of things like eating disorders, whether they're overeaters or undereaters, or maybe something as far as anorexia is concerned?
Well, with I used to before. Now, I mean, like I'm qualified to do that, but I kind of like to keep the training and the nutrition totally separate. So a good friend of mine, she's absolutely like one of the top in the industry. I mean, she's amazing for nutrition training as well. My friend Lee Peel. I don't know if you know the name, but I send a lot of people to her for nutrition-based stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, like for me, like, because I kind of like to focus on the one rather than combining the two. I find it's at least for myself, it's a more effective approach.
Sure.
And so that's what I've been doing. And she's absolutely fantastic. And I highly recommend her. So that's what I do.
Fantastic.
Kind of like a team effort.
Yeah, almost like two coaches for the price of one type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. No, I like that. And it's good to know that because you're the expert in training, you're not trying to wear two hats. You know, you're the expert in training, Lee's the expert in nutrition, and then combined, you know, you're not going to try and be an expert or a jack of all trades, but an expert of none. You know,
and I mean, she's equally qualified in training as well. And so like she sometimes unfairly gets typecast as just doing nutrition. But I just find like keeping things separate for me works best for the people I'm working with. And she's also much more qualified than I am with the nutrition.
Fantastic. No, I really, really love that as well. I think that's great. So, okay, so that's lovely. So just to kind of wrap things up, because I think that was a really nice, quick, dynamic chat about empowering women, which was really fantastic. What would you like to say to any of the women out there who are starting their fitness journey as a bit more of an encouraging and motivational well, quotes, I suppose, or anything that you want to leave on?
Probably, I mean, I kind of covered it earlier, but I mean, believing in yourself, like believing that you can, but believing that you can do it is so important. Find activities that you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on what you can do versus what you cannot do, and just keep building. And two other things that I think are really important that I did not really cover. A lot of people, when they're training, they have the mindset that more is better. They want to make themselves as tired as possible. They want to make themselves as sore as possible. And I mean, shows like The Biggest Loser, they always send that message out, and it's causing so many people to either get injured, or it's causing them just to not enjoy what they're doing, and then they quit. So if
Correct.
you focus on making every single rep count, focusing on quality over quantity, that
Yeah.
leads to more consistency, that leads to more enjoyment, and that's going to help people establish a lifestyle that lasts.
Definitely, definitely. I love the idea actually that you're saying, you know, more is not necessarily better. And the fact that The Biggest Loser, honestly, it gets on my nerves so much.
Oh, yeah.
And just for a bit, do you know, I could honestly speak for about 3 hours on this program
Me
because it really
too.
does drive me insane. And just for a bit of context for people who don't actually know the background of The Biggest Loser as well, obviously it is trying to lose the most amount of weight in the shortest amount of period. Now, when we talk about weight, we are talking about not just body fat, but muscle tissue, water, glycogen.
Yeah.
Everything else. And what they have these people doing is they are on 800 calories a day, and they are training for 8 hours a day. Cardio,
Yep.
cardio, cardio. And that is all they do, and they detriment muscle. Very, very simply, they detriment muscle. Simple as. Oh,
And the
sorry.
strength train, this is what kills me even more, is like they make them do some of the like the higher risk, or even just like strength exercises with atrocious form. The focus is just on making themselves as tired as possible. You
Yeah.
see people, and like even me, just like the coach in me, when I stopped watching it years ago, but just the coach in me, in my head, like I'd be correcting everything, and it was just driving me crazy. And then
Yeah.
you'd see people, like I saw somebody, I think they fractured their hip on that show. Like you see stress
Oh,
fractures. You see, I think somebody might have torn their ACL. I can't even, I mean, I've lost track, but
yeah.
I had to stop watching. It just drove me crazy.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing, you know, they're super morbidly obese, some of these guys, and they get them doing bloody box jumps and burpees.
Yes.
What on earth do you do that for? You know, the amount of stress that you're putting on not just your ACLs or your joints or anything along those lines, but things like hamstrings and cardiac health. You know, these
Yeah.
guys, if they're already suffering from sleep apnea, for example, or angina, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a little bit of
And
a
then
rant.
also they're teaching them to hate exercise. They're creating such
Oh,
an unhealthy relationship with it. I mean, it should be something, I mean, yeah, of course, when you're starting out, it might not be enjoyable. It might seem like a chore, but they
mm,
make the people hate what they're doing. It's torture.
yeah, and they'll
And
never carry it on.
yeah, like it should be. I mean, everybody's different. I'm lucky. Like I love to, like I don't even think of it as, I mean, like I'm working out, but I feel like I'm playing. Like I honestly feel like I'm playing. It's fun for me. I'm always excited to do it. And for me, it is my lifestyle. A lot of
Sure.
people, they might not like it as much as I do, but they're teaching these people to hate it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And like you said, create such an aversion and a bad relationship with food, a bad relationship with nutrition, with training and exercise.
Yeah.
And it's something that, I mean, if we had a look, there was a program on not so long ago actually about chasing up the Biggest Losers 2 years on. And I think there was 9 out of the 10 contestants had all gained the weight back on and overshot their weight
Yeah.
by like 4 or 5 pounds as well. So that they haven't just kind of like gained all of the weight back in a negative fashion, but they've actually gained more weight back because
Yeah.
they're now averted to training, exercise, and nutrition and diet. So, you know, this is like Meghan just mentioned previously, find something that you love doing, and enjoy it. And that will create a good relationship consistently over time. And
then I just thought of one other thing. Like this is The Biggest Loser again. Don't expect overnight results. Like you see that show, somebody might lose 25 pounds in a week because, like what you talked about, muscle, water. I mean, I'm sure very little of that is body fat. People see those numbers and they think, oh, well, I can lose 25 pounds in a week or whatever it is. So they
yeah,
expect kind of instant gratification, overnight results. and they try to achieve their goals by, I mean, doing stuff like just that's not healthy.
Sure, absolutely not. So yeah, please don't think that. I mean, you've got to be honest with yourself as well. I mean, I've had clients who have come to me first week on a new nutrition and training plan. They've lost 10 pounds in a week, you know, and then they said, "Oh, I'm not happy with that." And it's like, okay, well, first of all, 10 pounds in a week for me is slightly kind of concerning, but I'm going to say that about 8 pounds of that is water and glycogen.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's the instant loss, because the very next week you'll probably only lose 2 pounds or 3 pounds. And it depends on how much body fat you have, and it depends on how much of a caloric deficit that you obviously do. Now, if you're just going to go straight into a massive calorie deficit, then of course you're going to lose a ridiculous amount of weight, but it's going to be unsafe weight.
Yeah.
So we've got to do it safely, and we've got to do it over time. We've got to progressively overload you over time as well in a safe manner. So, wow, that was a really good rant, wasn't it? I love rants.
Yes. I mean, I could talk about The Biggest Loser for a day.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm so glad that we're not in that particular industry. All right then, my darling, that's fab. So, Meghan, where can people find you, your social media links and things? And we'll make sure that we'll put them all underneath this YouTube channel for you.
Awesome. Well, probably the best spot would be Facebook. I'm on there a lot. I try to reply back to comments and whatnot as much as I can. So just my Facebook page. My personal website is MegahnCallawayFitness.com. Cool. My website for my pull-up program, if people are interested, is UltimatePullups.com.
Nice.
And then I'm also on Instagram as Meghan Callaway. Or hang on, oh my gosh, let me check. I have to see if I'm Meghan Callaway or Meghan Callaway Fitness. That funny. Oh my gosh, Meghan Callaway Fitness is what I am.
No worries. So we'll make sure that we've got all of those links perfectly spelled out for you, Meghan, and I'll get them all underneath here for YouTube channel. And guys, if you've got any questions for Meghan or myself or Lee and Paul at TRA, then please obviously suggest them and put them on here, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And that is it from us for the very first podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch up with you again in the next episode. Thank you so much, Meghan.
Thank you for having me.
No worries.